What's up, guys? Well, just getting back from filming a video with this motorcycle, and I'm talking about practice in that video and how important it is to challenge yourself, challenge your skill set, and more importantly, to have fun. Play date with your bike. Don't take it so seriously and all of that. But as I was going over this bike, I thought, I never did put together a video showing a post-ride checklist, something that I do feel is very important. So for this video, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to start at the front of that bike, move to the back side to side, and go over some things to look for once you get back from beating on your bike. Now, I am going to include some things that you might not have thought about potentially, only because these are areas where I've found either foreign matter, nails in tires, things like that. So anyway, let's dive into it. Okay guys, so once everything's cooled off, now's the time to grab your favorite adult beverage and start going over your bike. First and foremost, tires, making sure that there is no nail or any other kind of foreign body that has embedded itself into the tire. I've found that on more than one occasion. Oddly enough, the tire didn't ever lose pressure. I got back and found a small nail. And that's got to be something you're going to address straight away. But again, if you didn't look for it and if you didn't inspect the bike afterwards, these are the kind of things that can catch you off guard. So always inspect the tires. Also, check your air inlets. Make sure that you don't have wads of grass, birds. You'd be surprised at what all things can find their way into these big old airlets when you're out there blasting around on the bike. So just make sure that there's nothing visually eye-catching, I suppose. Anyway, getting back over here, forks. Make sure that you didn't cook a fork seal. If you're out doing wheelies, hammering on the brakes really hard, stoppies, you're out in your favorite twisties, you're putting a lot of stress on your forks. Just make sure that you didn't develop a leak along the way. Do the same thing for your brakes as well. You're hammering on your brakes pretty hard. Things can go wrong. You just never know. Just make sure you're looking throughout that system, making sure there's no leaks or anything like that. All right, guys, scooting over here to the middle of the bike. First thing I'm going to do, check to make sure that everything is still working as it should with the clutch linkage. In this case, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of free play, just like you would have found in stock. Just making sure that there's nothing odd going on here mechanically. Usually there's not, but you never know. If you find any binding that wasn't there before, definitely a cause to take a look. Also, make sure that when you're done riding your bike, just give the shifter linkage a good once over. Make sure that nothing has backed out. None of this mounting hardware, any of your shift linkage itself has come loose. I've had that happen to me before, as weird as that may sound, and so it's just one spot that I go looking, as well as your kickstand. Guys, I have had this happen once where the kickstand had backed out. Don't ask me how that happened, but it's just something that I always want to keep an eye on as well. There's no accounting for weird stuff. Motorcycles will find ways to surprise you, and that's one that has caught me off guard. Another thing to make sure of, talking about the kickstand, just making sure that your kickstand sensor, everything's moving around as it should. I haven't ever had an issue with that, but I have heard of guys that they either had some kind of damage with that along the way, wiring or whatever. So again, just put eyes on it. You don't have to spend too much time with it, but just something else that I've heard of, not personally experienced, being a fail point. So moving on this side of the bike, we find the chain. I've already measured this out at 25 millimeters. Guys, just making sure that everything is as it should be, not too much excessive play here. Also making sure that it is not excessively tight. One other thing to consider, just run a finger over the lock nut on your adjusters. Make sure everything is still tight. If you find that one of these are loose, make sure that you check the back spacing on your axle to make sure that it is aligned properly. Sometimes it's just a matter of somebody or you forgot to tighten that lock nut all the way down. Other times, if your main nut isn't tightened down all the way, or for whatever reason that axle walked, you want to make sure that you realign everything and get your chain back into proper specs. And of course, rear tire, same as the front, making sure there's no foreign object in that tire that would cause you to have a flat. Again, not every nail, not every puncture is going to cause an immediate loss of air pressure. In many cases, they don't. So just go over the tire, make sure there's nothing visual. And if you see anything, obviously, that's when you got to get that to the shop and get a new tire or a replacement. Well, I meant to say repair, but you get the idea. You got a nail in your tire, some kind of action got to take place. Circling around to the right side of the bike, we're just going to make sure that we don't have any leaks in our rear brake circuit. The fluid is full and everything is looking as it should. And of course, you knew this was coming, guys. Check your oil. Make sure that it isn't overfilled or underfilled. Underfilled could just mean that you've consumed a little bit of oil. Overfilled, especially if it's kind of a khaki color, means that you've got some serious internal problems going on with that engine. At any rate, make sure that you are inspecting that, checking that it is within the right specification, and that it's not totally black and sooty, that it still has a bit of an amber color to it, and you should be in good shape. Now we're going to do the same for the front brake reservoir, making sure that it is full to its proper level, and hit that lever a few times. Make sure that it doesn't feel strange, nothing odd going on there either. Might be a good time to just check throttle function, make sure everything is as it should be, snaps right back to zero throttle from wide open throttle with no binding. Don't forget your brake check and fork check on this side, and also check for any kind of leaks, potential punctures, maybe you threw a rock up into your radiator, whatever that case might be. Just check for general signs of puncture, leaks, or anything else like that. So there you have it, guys. Once everything checks out, give her a good wipe down, make her all nice and pretty for the next time you get a chance to spend some time with her. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. If you made it this far, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. Hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.